Welcome back to the Bad Influence Podcast. I'm Jordan Banderas, and on today's episode, I wanted to tackle a topic that I feel a lot of us can relate to. I'm talking about dealing with toxic family members. Whether it's your parents, your siblings, or your extended family members, toxic relationships within our family can be some of the most difficult and hard to navigate through in life. Probably you know what I'm talking about. Because these people are supposed to be the ones closest to us, the ones that are supposed to guide us through life, help us figure shit out, give us advice, all of these things. But sometimes they can be the ones holding us back the most. So today, I wanted to talk about how to recognize and cope with toxic family bullshit. And let me tell you though, it will not be easy, but you definitely can get through it. Are you ready to dive in? I am. Now, imagine being in a group of people that are supposed to love you and respect you. That's how families should be, right? But instead, they constantly disrespect the personal boundaries you've created and even provide a hostile and a stressful living environment that causes you mental and emotional pain. Now, this happens from childhood. Imagine growing up in a situation like that. Do you think you're going to be a functional adult if you grow up in a situation like that? I don't think so because that's what happened to me. So I want to highlight this because that's what it's like to be part of a toxic family member. I mean, from a toxic family. And even though it can be hard to recognize when our own family can be unhealthy, it's important to remember that we deserve to be treated with love and respect no matter who it comes from and no matter where it comes from. It can be from your parents, like I said, siblings, brothers, sisters, extended family members, no matter where it comes from. It can be from your neighbors, your friends. It doesn't matter. You deserve to be treated with love and respect. But when it comes to our own family, it's hard to see it. It's hard to see that, especially when you grow up like that from like literally day one. You just were born and you're treated this way, like you're not treated like a son or anything like that. So it's really hard to see because you start to think that that's how life is and that sometimes you even deserve to be treated like that, which is not the case. So now picture being stuck in a situation where the people who are supposed to care about you the most only think about themselves. Hmm? Let's picture that. They don't respect you from the time that you're able to walk and talk and wherever. And they don't respect your time. They don't care about your finances. And they make you feel guilty if you don't help them. It's very hard to see when our own family, let's be honest, our own family acts like this. It's really hard, like I mentioned. Especially when we've been taught that blood is thicker than water. And another thing that I see a lot on social media is always the saying that everybody's posting for some reason nowadays that says, family's everything. And yeah, that is true if you grew up in a situation that lets you believe that. But the truth is, being in a toxic family can be detrimental to your health because you're going to be stressed. It can be draining And it can be frustrating and it can be angering. You're going to be angry because of the way that you're being treated. So another thing that happens in this type of situations when you're in a toxic family is that you can feel like you're stuck in a never-ending cycle of giving and getting nothing in return. So when you grow up and let's say you get married or you start dating or whatever, you give and give and give and give, and when you don't get anything back in return, like you give somebody your love and you don't get love back, then you're just like, well, it's just like with my family. That's how it is. That's why it's so bad for you, because you start to kind of feel like you should be treated like shit no matter who it is from. Even your husband, your kids, they treat you like shit, and you're like, well, I've been treated like this my whole life. But that's not how it should be, because you don't deserve that. And you can obviously change and everything, but it is hard. And with this said, you may be thinking, gosh, Jordan, you sound like you know what you're talking about. Well, thank you, but yes, I do. And to give you a bit of a backstory in my situation, uh, this is what happened. I stopped talking to my family after I got married because I realized that they were toxic to myself and my marriage. They were being toxic still. They were toxic to me my whole life, and then they were bringing that toxicity to my marriage. So I was like, oh, fuck this. I'm not going to allow that to happen. But one of the things that I did, even though I cut off my family, I always tried to keep in touch with my mom. It was kind of like from afar, like we didn't really spend too much time together, but I call her and we talk every now and then. But that is until recently, though. Here's what happened. My mom came to me and wanted me to do a favor for her that requires a lot of time and a lot of money, which, by the way, is something that me and my wife don't have right now. So she has asked me to do this fucking favor for her for years. And my answer has always been no, because I definitely cannot fucking help her to do what she needs. I just can't. I don't have the money, I don't have the time. So when she asked me again about this favor at the beginning of December, I explained to her how long this process is and how costly this fucking favor would be. And I also explained to her why I couldn't do it. But she kept pushing. She kept pushing and pushing and pushing until I finally got mad and I snapped and I said, like, you know what? My answer is going to be always a big fat fucking no. That's what my answer is going to be. No. And I also told her that she shouldn't be wasting her time by continually asking me about this, because I'm sick and fucking tired of getting harassed. It's like every time. And I knew that will make her mad, but I didn't realize that she will be pissed off that bad. Because after I said no this last time, she hasn't contacted me at all. She didn't actually say happy or Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and even a happy birthday last week when it was my birthday. So she got mad that she stopped talking to me. She, the way that I feel, pretty much forgot about me and even didn't care about my birthday. But the only thing I can think of about her reaction is that she only kept in touch for so long so she could ask me to do this huge favor for her. Like, nothing else mattered. Like, why would you not say happy birthday to your son, which is something that you have done for 35 years? And then on the 36th year, just because your son doesn't want to do something for you, you get mad and then you don't remember that he was born, that you gave him life. But when I look back, I realized that every single fucking time my mom and I spoke over the time that my wife and I have been married, she always asked me for this favor every single time. Which now I realize that this is one of the reasons why I kept in touch with my mom from afar. Like I didn't really talk to her that much because it always infuriated me. But I was so used to it because that's how she is. She's very pushy. If she doesn't get what she wants, she will push, push, push until she does. Or when you finally snap and say, "No, stop fucking bugging me," she will cut you off. Literally. So to me, this is absolutely toxic behavior because she has done shit like this my entire life. If I wouldn't help her, she will make me feel like I wasn't a reliable or good son to her, which in my culture is huge. We're a family culture, our Mexican culture has this like family nucleus where supposedly you're supposed to be close to your family all the time. It doesn't matter what happened. Family's everything. That's how my culture is. But here's the thing, she has done this my entire life to me and my brother. Because back when I was younger, my brother and her got in a huge fight. They got in a huge fight, and she did the same thing to him. She stopped talking to him for years, and anytime when somebody will ask him like, "Hey, what about Jonathan, your son? Like, hey, what's going on with him?" And she will always say, "He's living his life. He forgot about me." That's what she would say, and I will always look at her and be like, "That's bullshit. You guys got in a huge fight, but I didn't want to get la chancla, you know." So she has done things like this, and some of the things that she used to say to me is like I said, like she would say, "Oh, your brother is a better son," all of those things. She will make me feel bad, and she will also say, "If you don't help me, you may go to hell." That's one of the things that she actually said to me. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I don't want to go to hell," even though I'm not religious and I don't believe in that. But that's why I heard growing up. So I was like, "Oh my gosh, I have to help my mom." And again, that's toxic because one of the things that she would do every single time is that she will constantly try to break my boundaries by asking me repeatedly to do things for her until I gave in. But this time, it did not work because I don't live with her toxic ass anymore. I left that life. I left that toxic place, and now I'm at peace at home. I have this peace at my own home with my wife, with my family, with the family that has given me love and support. And if she tries to bug me, my mom tries to bug me, I can just block her ass. I can block her number, which I have done in the past, so she knows I will do that. And instead of me doing that, she actually kind of like uh, gained up one on me and did it before I could do it. That's pretty much how I feel as well. But here's the thing, by her not saying happy birthday this year, I feel like it was a big fuck you to my face. Because, like I said, she has done this to my brother. She did that to him. So to me, it feels like as her sons, we are dispensable as soon as we don't do something for her or she doesn't get what she wants from us. It fucking infuriates me because this is pathetic coming from a parent. Don't you think? It's pathetic. So another thing that I want to talk about this, and it's very important if you're dealing with a situation like this, is that I am not going to lie. I'm hurt about this situation. I feel hurt when she did this. or because she did this. It hurt a lot because I have received a happy birthday from my mom for 35 years. I've gotten used to it. But now that I didn't get one from her, I feel that the relationship has ended. But not by my choosing, it's something that she chose. She literally said, fuck you on your birthday. Like, I don't care about you. I don't remember you. Bye. So she ended the relationship. But I ultimately feel like, or I feel that I made the best choice for my wife and I. Because after thinking about it for a few days, I feel glad that she actually did this. I feel like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders for the first time in years. Because sometimes it's the other person's loss and not yours. Remember to always keep your boundaries strong and don't give up and don't give in, especially if your family is pushy. But you may be thinking, why would you be glad that she did this to you? Because it hurts, like that's what I'm talking about. It hurts, but I'm glad that she did this. And the reason why I'm glad that she did this is because she showed me that she didn't care about me not having the time to help her. After all, I have to take care of my wife, and she knows that my wife is sick, and I have to take her to the doctors, and I still go to work. And the same thing happened with the money. She didn't care that if I had done this favor for her, I would have struggled to pay my mortgage and buy my wife's medications, which is something that my wife really needs. She didn't care about that, and she knew that because I told her. She didn't care about anything at all, only her. That's the only thing that she cared about, her. So by her not talking to me and giving me a big fuck you in the end, it tells me that I don't have to worry about her anymore. And I can do whatever the fuck I want with my life and not worry about my family trying to take advantage of me. In other words, I feel free to go after my goals and not worry about them asking me for favors or money once they see I have made a name for myself. That's very important right now. And that's why I wanted to talk about this, because if you cut those ties and let's say you make a name for yourself, you create your own business, you create a podcast, and you become successful, you start making money, you start creating generational wealth for your kids. You don't have to worry about your family that are toxic. And if you don't want to help them at all, you don't have to. Because in the end, they were never there to support you. But they show up once you have things that they want, you know? Now, the wound still is fresh with me. I mean, it just happened within a month. Within 2 months at this point. But I have been able to move on, which was hard, thanks to therapy. Because I understand that my family is the way they are, and that has nothing to do with me. I've never done anything to them to deserve this or anything like that. I just set my boundaries. I said no, they got mad. And remember this, and that's why I want to point this out, is like they've been like this their entire life. I was born on 1987. They were born in the 60s, my uncle and my mom and my aunt. My brother was born in 79, so they were born way before me. And they have more life experience than me, and they have gone to different kinds of things than me. So whatever they do is about them. It has to do with them. It has to do with how they were raised and the life experiences that made them that way. And I was not even part of it. So, whatever. They can act however they want to act. Now, one of the things that I do know, though, is that my mom grew up in some of the roughest neighborhoods in Mexico City. So I feel that she is this way because it has helped her survive for this long. So, due to my understanding of this, I have been able to forgive her and be able to move on with my life so I can live my own life. And just because I forgave her, that doesn't mean that I have to help her. It's like, I forgive you, but I'm going to move on. Even though you're my mom, or even though you're my brother, or even though you're my uncle, I have to move on and do things for me and my wife. Not for you. This is for me. And I'm moving on. And that's what I recommend you to do. So, if you're dealing with a situation like mine, I want you to understand that just because they are your family, it's okay to cut ties with them. Especially if they are draining you mentally, emotionally, physically, and financially. Because just just because they are your family doesn't mean you should let them break your boundaries every single time they see fit. No, don't let that happen. And also, don't let them make you feel bad if you don't help them. You're doing what you see is best for you. Not for them, but for you and your family if you're married or if you have kids. You are doing that for you. And if they don't like that, then it's too fucking bad. They can deal with that themselves. You don't even have to be part of their dealing process. So remember that by saying no, it doesn't make you a bad son, bad daughter, bad dad, bad cousin, bad brother, bad sister, etc. And if they try to make you feel bad, understand that they are in the wrong, and maybe it's due to how they have lived their entire life. Kind of like with my mom. I feel like she is this way because she has been able to survive being that way. So she doesn't see any other way to live. And that's why I wanted to share on today's episode. Thank you for listening. Thank you for the growth and the feedback and the support. Remember to share, like, and subscribe. We are on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And the link is in the episode's description. And you can also email me at bjordanthebadinfluence@gmail.com. And here are my final thoughts. Just because they are family doesn't mean you should always take care of them and break your back for them. And have a great day.